What's up, everyone? This is Nate Salley, the Audible coach, with your Audible Minute, presented by Paradigm 360 Coaching and Consulting. Now, today I want to speak to you all about signs and faith. Now, when it comes to our lives, we often ask God for a sign when we want to understand if something is truly from Him or not. And in most cases, that sign also requires an act of faith on our part. Now, Matthew chapter 14, verses 28 through 31 states, "And Peter answered him and said, Lord, if it be thou, bid me come unto thee upon the waters. And Jesus said, Come. And Peter went down from the boat and walked upon the waters to come to Jesus. But when he saw the wind, he was afraid, and beginning to sink, he cried out, saying, Lord, save me. And immediately Jesus stretched forth his hand and took hold of him and said unto him, O thou of little faith, why did you doubt?" Now, when I was trying to figure out whether a career as a life coach and a motivational speaker were in line with who God was calling me to be, there were two acts of faith that were required on my part. The first act of faith was for me to step outside of my comfort zone or outside of my boat and begin building relationships with other speakers and coaches. In doing this, it made it clear to me that this was definitely something that was aligned with who I was called to be in this season of my life. The next step was for me to invest in myself financially. Now, you talk about starting to see winds pick up and see the waves begin to crash. This was that moment for me, and it's something that a lot of us, I believe, battle with in our everyday lives. But I'm so grateful that I went ahead and took this step of faith, because ultimately I didn't allow my fear and my uncertainty to sink me as it began to sink Peter. But ultimately, this faith has opened up doors and created opportunities that far exceed even my greatest expectations. So I ask, what situation are you dealing with right now that makes you wonder if it's truly from God or not? Don't be afraid to ask Him for a sign, but remember, that sign will likely require a renewed level of faith. Signs and faith. Once again, this is Nate Salley, the Audible coach. Thank you for your time, and don't forget, be encouraged. God loves you. Dream out loud.